Reason I'm actually creating this video today was because a little while ago, maybe a couple days ago, I was having a chat with one of my friends, and we were talking about self-improvement and how better I feel like I've gotten than all the normal people around me. And it really finally made me realize how I can be so good at so many different things without, like when everybody else has this one talent, but I can be good at so many different things that it's really like incredible and weird to other people, is because, I'm a really good cello player, but I'm also the fastest swimmer on our team, barring like one or two seniors. I'm the best martial artist in my school. I'm a lot of different things that are very, very good. And it's like I don't really have one speciality. And I finally realized, because this big overarching reason that all of this is happening and that I can do all of this and still be like really good at all of them, a different amount of things, and not just really good at one specific thing, is simply because I try. Um, all these kids nowadays have one thing that they care about, and that's the only thing they try at, which makes them everything else is worse around them, because they have this one thing. They don't really care about anything else. Let's say you have a big 6'3", 200-pound high schooler who plays linebacker, and he loves playing linebacker for his high school. So he really only focuses on that. But he also is in high school, but he doesn't care about high school. So he doesn't try in high school. He doesn't get good grades, and he starts failing classes. Maybe he also does swimming lessons, but he doesn't care. So he doesn't do swimming lessons, or he doesn't try in swimming lessons. He does do them very slowly. He doesn't care. He just half-asses everything. And that's the reason that I figured out you can be good at so many different things. Just because if you're willing, you can be good at practically anything. Because all of these kids nowadays are so used to being able to just half-ass everything and not really care because, well, who cares anyway? I'm not going to do this. And just by putting in a little bit more effort than everybody else, you're obviously going to get better, because by putting in that 1% more effort, you get 1% better. But then you're already 1% better. So when you both get 1% better, your 1% is bigger. And that gap continues to grow until you reach a point where you may have started at the same time as maybe your friend, or maybe you're competing against someone. And since you just put in a little more effort, you're here and he's here, because you just put in that extra 10% of effort that he wasn't willing to put in every day. And that's what really was important. It probably started with my swim coach giving us this whole thing that when he was at Maryland and he was coaching, and, he won championships. There were a bunch of guys that came on the team that weren't athletic at all. They had no real talent with swimming. They weren't great. But because they tried, they really tried every day, harder than those who had all that talent, who knew they were so good, a lot of them ended up becoming better than the ones that came in with all the talent, because they just tried every single day to improve at swimming. And imagine if we did that in all aspects of our lives. We don't have to have the best genetics when we're working out. We don't have to have all these really good things. If you're playing soccer, I know my brother talks a lot about how he probably won't make it to pros because he's much shorter than a goalkeeper should be. And I'm sure if he put in all his effort every day, he could make it to the pros, even despite his height. There are a lot of things that will stop us, like barriers, but just break them down. There's no reason to sit at a wall that has a hammer next to it and complain that you can't get past the wall. grab the hammer and break it down. It might take you longer than someone who doesn't have the wall in their way, but if you work harder, you run faster than the person racing beside you, even if he doesn't have walls in his way. You will eventually beat him because you wanted it. You wanted more. You tried harder to get it. And that is really all that it takes, just putting in that extra little bit of effort every day, consciously thinking, if I really want to do this and I want to be good at it, I really need to try to do this. It's not something where if you half-ass everything, you're gonna get gains. In the gym, I was talking about this in one of my very first videos, that the only way you get gains, like it doesn't matter what exercises you do really, or the split you do or anything like that. As long as you're going to the gym consistently and you're really training hard, you're training to failure, you will get gains. Like all that really matters in any aspect of life to make yourself good, any aspect, is just to try a little bit. That's all you have to do. And I don't know why so many kids nowadays, they don't try at all. They kind of just get through it. Like in swimming a lot, I see kids just swimming very sloppily, very slowly, just trying to get through it. And then they wonder why they're not dropping times every time we have meets. And it's because they're just not trying. It's one of those things where they're not putting in that effort to improve, so they're not improving. A lot of the times in elementary school and middle school, your parents would tell you, like, the only thing you're going to get out is the amount of effort you put in. And now I actually realize what they were saying is true, that the only thing we're ever going to get out of anything, like the only way we're going to get anything out of it, is by the amount of effort we put in. If we half-ass everything we do, we're going to get half-assed results because we didn't try hard enough. But if we go into the gym every day knowing I need to try my best to make sure that I get maximum gains, you're going to get the most gains because you're trying hard. You really want those gains, which is just, it seems very simple, but for some reason it is very hard for a lot of people to consciously say to themselves, I need to zone in, I need to focus on this, and I need to do it as well as I can. And for some reason, that just seems too hard for people nowadays, which, is something very disheartening and saddening to see in people because, this is the future generations and we're going to have to live with these people. They might be the doctors, the people taking care of us. And that's sad to see. But there is also a very, you know, bright side to this, especially for us as individuals. It might seem a little cruel, but if everybody around us doesn't really want to try at all and they are just half-assing everything around them, that leaves so much room for us to just put in maybe 10% more effort than they do and become better than 90% of people around us. In every sport, you're always going to have people that try, but there's a lot of kids that don't care enough to try. And we can be better than all of those kids who don't care enough to try just by putting in maybe 10% more effort. Now, obviously, you're not going to be the best, but imagine being in the top 10% of music and swimming and karate and everything like that. That would be super incredible because you could say, oh, yeah, I'm good at this, I'm good at this, I'm good at this. And it feels so nice to know that you can do all these great things. And not many people can do it, but the only reason you do it is, you just try. I was talking with my friend about how in the summer I became so much more fit than everybody around me because every day I would go out at like 7 o'clock, maybe 6 o'clock for a run for as long as I can. And I would come back, take a shower, weight lift, and then I'd be done for the day. And, I hadn't had the YouTube channel yet, which has really skyrocketed my confidence and has shown me that there are so many more things to do with my life. But I just, just being able, how do I say this? Let's see. During the runs, I almost made it like a game that, I was trying to do more every week and every day. And I would go from like 2.5 miles to 3 miles to 3.5 miles to 4 miles to 5 miles. And then I did 6 miles. And then I tried 7 miles and I did 7.5. Then I tried 8. And then on the final day of summer, I tried 10. And just making that game where I was pushing myself so hard and my legs, like, it hurt to walk downstairs in the morning because my legs were so sore from the day before. And just doing that, I became more fit than everybody in this household. Became a better runner than everybody in this household because I simply tried. I wanted to get better at running. I wanted to improve my times. I wanted to improve my distances. So I just tried to do that, and I ended up becoming like a really good runner. And before, my 3 mile time was like 30 minutes, and now in Thanksgiving I ran a 3 mile with my family and I finished in 23. So just that, trying for those like 3 months between the summer and Thanksgiving, I dropped times in my running by 7 minutes. That is incredible. And just by trying like that, I became so much better than everyone else. And that's really all there is to life. All the tools for success you need is to try your hardest every day. And the only way you do that, by doing the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. I'll see you guys next time. Stay